All right, DJ, we are here. First of all, well, let me turn this. Yeah, turn that down. Get us nice and full frame here.
There we go.
First of all,
Our thumbnail sucked.
it did. It probably. Whatever. We'll roll with it. First of all, welcome to Film Vomit Podcast. My name is Mac Taylor,
DJ.
and we watched a movie that sucked.
Beyond this suck doesn't describe what I just watched. I've never seen it, and I'm personally thankful that I have never seen it until tonight because this douchebag.
We watched tonight the infamous Halloween 666, The Curse of Michael Myers, which for some reason needs two cuts to exist in the world.
And it didn't need one cut. It should have had none.
Both cuts. Like we're gonna talk about. I watched both cuts. DJ watched
the production.
watched the unrated producer's cut. Either way, we're gonna apparently have the DVD and Blu-ray of the
Which, from the sounds of it, was better than the piece of shit that I just watched.
It was, but not by much. It's a very slim margin.
Hey, better is better.
Hey, we got people watching right now. See that little thing? There's right now for the hi, people who are watching. Just pointing that out there right now. So we're gonna dive right into the plot of this shitty movie. So we, the from 4 and 5 who we all love. Yeah, and oh, hi Haley. we get a really stupid birth, and also we get an actor's change. We go from really good Danielle Harris to whoever the fuck this girl was.
They wanted Danielle Harris wanted to do it. She couldn't because they wanted 18 or older. So she emancipated herself and then asked for Dimensions to pay for the lawyer fees and everything, and they wouldn't, so she didn't do it.
Yep,
$5,000 kept Danielle Harris from doing this movie.
5, which is definitely a good thing. She is probably very glad she didn't tune into the shitty movie. So it's also intercut with the credits. So we get like really weird birth scene credits, worst opening credits in Halloween.
Couldn't even tell it was. I knew it was a birth scene, but you can't even tell it's a birth scene. It's like she's having some sort of seizure from 5 again or something.
Literally, which I was doing a lot of this movie was oh god,
not in a good way.
No, this was not. So she gives birth to the baby, and he's not named yet. Right now, he's unnamed baby. I mean, we never even really get confirmed. Oh yeah, you can see his little dinger. I forgot about that. Little dinger. But the cult takes the baby into another room, and she's just kind of laying there in her birthness.
She's asking for the kid, and
yeah, of course they're not going to give up the kid. Which we'll get more into the details of this kid later. But why? Why was the kid necessary?
Because that's a good point. Because the kid wasn't even involved.
They want to kill the baby. The plot of this movie is they want to kill the baby,
but they blood sacrifice.
But
then at the end they were trying.
But they made the baby. So like they made the baby just to kill the baby.
The writer didn't even want to do this movie.
Well,
he did it because he got 3 other movie deals from Miramax from it.
Well, it sure showed that he wanted to do this movie.
Nobody wanted to do this movie, apparently. Because later on, all the actors disowned it because, like, the production company, the directors, the producers, they all were arguing throughout the entire filming process. So everybody's life was miserable, so nobody gave a shit about the movie.
Well, okay, but we do get this really cool voiceover by Loomis describing Michael in the story. Donald Pleasence is a true treasure.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is his last movie.
Ever.
That's the most unfortunate event.
Like, oh man, he went out on a bad one.
Terrible one.
Yeah. Hi, Delaney. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat too, as well as our little podcast here. So just randomly out of the flippity floppity nowhere, this nurse is like hands Jamie her baby,
and then just tells her to go.
And it's like, get out of here. And we get this really weird running
I don't-
scene.
I can't express how terrible.
And
that
this
is.
like 19-year-old nurse runs out of breath and gives up and just sits there.
Like for no reason.
Like, why is she out of breath?
Like first of all, she didn't even try. Like, was she gonna try and stop and fight Michael? She didn't. She literally
No.
stood there.
She stood there, and
they
he-
got picked up.
he
and thrown into a
comes-
wall.
Thank you. Comes from the background and she doesn't know he's there, but like she was sitting there.
This movie is beyond comprehension in my mind.
Yes.
I can't fathom it. Like it is that bad. Like
Yes.
I swear to God, it is that bad.
So Michael comes from behind this panting 20-year-old woman and grabs her head, and there's like a random
Why was
spike.
there a
Why-
random spike
yes,
on the wall?
that's in my notes. Why is there a spike on the wall?
Like at the stick.
And this is like this weird cave thing. Like, but there's a random spike. And he puts her head through it, and she kind of like ragdolls.
Big dolls
Yeah,
around, you
kind
know,
of
just like
rigor mortises for a minute,
seizures.
you know. And then, which I will say that the effect there, that was fine. Yeah?
There's a spider.
Where?
I don't know. She said
Oh.
there's a spider behind.
Can't pay too much time on that. But yeah, and there's also a lot of really stupid dark lighting because of the whole cult theme in this movie, and I hate it so much. Everything's just so dark, so fucking dark the whole time.
That was the least of my concerns.
It was the least of your
I
concerns.
could hardly watch the movie because it was boring.
So she runs out of the building and she does that stupid slip and fall thing, which I guess it's raining, so like okay, but like, I hate slipping. Like okay, if it's like pre-90s, I'm okay with slip and falls in horror movies because that was kind of the thing at the time. But this is like mid-90s. Get your shit together with the fucking cheap slip and fall. It is so angering
Danielle
sometimes.
Harris was looking for-
No, she wouldn't have. She would have been actually tolerable. Hi, Layla, to watch. You know,
Yeah.
this girl is damn
I
near
don't even know if
unwatchable.
Danielle Harris could have saved this one.
I don't know.
Especially for the amount of
At least
time.
she'd have been a lot prettier. So, then we get this trucker. Like she gets in this truck and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing with my
What's
truck?"
this guy doing in the middle? Like, does he-
Middle of nowhere.
it's like probably midnight.
And he's got this weird cheap poncho on.
I thought he was a security guard or something.
But no, he's just a guy
Just
with a
random
truck.
guy out there.
But like, why is he out there? And he's clearly dressed for the occasion.
Planned on being out there in the rain.
But this poor guy, this poor guy is just wanting to know where it's
She's
happening
like,
with
"Why are
his
you-"
truck.
And he walks over and
And
she's
then he
like,
snaps his neck.
she's not even trying to tell. She's like, you can't even tell. She's like pointing over, and he's like,
Yeah.
what? And then just bam, dead.
This would have been funny
Terrible
if
death.
we would have got Danielle Harris and Jeffrey Lando from Halloween 5, or she's like, "Buh, buh, buh," like she said, "Buh, buh, buh, buh," behind you. Like, if we'd have got the stuttering fucking thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been
Made it. Something.
a redeeming quality for me of this film.
I mean, it's still.
Okay, so we get the trucker with his neck snapped, and then we get this stupid fucking Halloween does this weird thing with kids and dream sequences. So we get this new kid named Danny, who we never met before, visited by the man in black. This is kill them, Danny, for
So
him.
was this really a dream sequence though?
I mean, as soon as his mom comes in, he's gone. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't teleport. But then again, some weird shit happens in this movie. But I'm gonna say it was a dream.
The rocks. So I'm pretty sure teleportation probably helps.
We'll get there. I'm not a fan of that either. I'm just saying we will at some point get there. See, his mom comes in and comforts him, and he has this. You told me not to mention this, but I'm gonna mention this.
What?
So this kid has a Power Rangers action figure in his bedroom, and I was writing it down. DJ's like, "There's a Power Rangers action figure." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "I saw you start to write your notes." He's like, "Don't say that in the podcast." And I'm like, "I'm going to
And
say
you were
that."
like, it's part of the movie, and I'm like, no.
And then later it comes back. So it is the most redeemable value in this film
That
the
there's a
Power
Red
Rangers
Ranger.
actually. Yeah, as a Mighty Morphin Power movie. That's the best thing for me. Then we get this radio program playing in the background during the scene where basically it's this radio host
Useless.
interviewing crazy ass people about
The
Michael
one
Myers.
she's saying she's in love with my Myers and shit.
She say she likes his intensity.
It's like he just needs to be understood. And I'm like, no, pretty sure he doesn't because he doesn't speak. So there's nothing to understand.
Why do
Like, it's
people keep
crazy.
trying to understand this guy?
Like,
He's
why do-
just
why
a
do people
murderer.
like serial killers? How is that a real
A
thing?
woman did marry Charles
I'm
Manson,
aware.
and I'm sure this happens quite often. People are crazy, dude. The world's a crazy place. But like, it seems like every crazy person within like a so many mile radius was on this radio show. But this dude is
Including
also
Tommy Doyle.
this dude's also being a dick.
Yeah.
Like
He's stroke, like, why are you gonna have a podcast or
a radio
radio
show
show
about this if you
if
don't
you're
want to
just gonna
talk
just
about it?
demean everybody that calls in?
And like Tommy, should we start in on Tommy at this point?
Paul Rudd. Like,
Well, no, before we get his talking in the scene, it's like she's so what's her name? Kara,
I don't even know.
like the main star of this damn film. I think her name's Kara. She's changing across the street and she looks up and Tommy's just staring at her from the window across the street.
Real creepy, like.
Real creepy.
No,
Like
but-
real peeping Tom.
But why was he actually being peeping Tom? Or was he trying to spy on him?
I don't
Trying to
fucking
look for
know.
Mike Myers, you know, like, oh, it's Halloween. Better look out.
And that is technically the Myers house. But like, it's so weird, man.
Everything about this,
Like, then he gets on the radio program and he's like, I was only a boy when I saw him for the first
everything he
time.
said sounds so.
He uses that voice like the whole film. He's like, I was just a boy when I saw him for the
Literally.
first time. And
Everything he sounds like is so important.
I'm waiting for him this time. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
This is definitely like Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd,
This is his worst performance that I've seen.
but I don't know if he was just
Nervous,
scared in acting,
or there was no direction
or
whatsoever.
they were like, "Hey, act like a retard." All right, you got it, dude. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. Either way, this thing was just really bad. Like, really bad. And it's just so robotic the way he's talking and weird. And like, we've seen many good Paul Rudd movies where he doesn't do that. So it's not, you can't say he's a bad
Oh, he's not a bad
actor.
by any means.
My theory
This
is that there
role-
was no direction.
That's gotta be it.
Like, there was just nobody telling him, like, try it this way. I mean, he's his first filmed movie.
Right.
So he probably didn't have much experience, and they're not giving him anything to work with, especially with the script. So then we cut to Loomis, who's still using a typewriter. Like,
Because
it's
he's-
95,
Dude, he's like.
but he's living out in the middle of fucking nowhere, which, like, understandably so.
After all the shit.
We're dealt with this shit.
Not quite 6.
Technically, this is just a movie, and three's storyline. Everyone died at the end of 3, the whole world. So, God, Halloween 3. Better than this film. I can't stop laughing. But he's using a typewriter, and we meet Dr. Wynn, who's come to have some sort of meeting with Loomis of some sort.
To tell him about his retirement, apparently.
And
That's
the
about it.
radio goes, whatever happened to that Dr. Loomis guy? I heard he was dead. And he like acknowledges it. He's like, not dead, just very much retired. Even his voice is frail now. But Donald Pleasance is old as shit in this movie.
Like we talked about, he died 2
Like,
months after.
Yeah, like very shortly after.
It was
Like,
2 months after.
because this
it was
film is
released,
dedicated
I
to
think.
him, which is sad.
Very sad.
Very sad. I wish Donald Pleasance could have stopped at Halloween
Like,
5.
don't dedicate this film to me. It's absolutely terrible.
He probably would have not. He would have said he would have been like, he disowned it
No, thank
if he was late
Like
alive
everybody else
longer. Because he's probably the best part about this whole film.
did. Yeah.
Because the Loomis character is still pretty in tune to where Loomis should be.
Yeah,
There's some
pretty
shit
much.
that happens later, but I mean, he has to kind of react
Lucas's
to it.
character is repetitive in a sense.
And we get the same
Yeah.
actor. We never get the actor change.
Exactly.
he acknowledges that little fun line, and basically Wynn's like, "Hey, I'm retiring, but would you like to come out of retirement and take my?" Why would an old ass fucking dude take a slightly
Wynn
younger
looks like
dude's
he's like
place?
60s.
And Loomis
is
looks
over
like
here rocking a cradle. Over
about to
here.
die. Like Loomis looks
Just
near
about ready
death
to
the whole
croak.
time, and you want him to take your place? Fuck you. And Loomis kind of says that for a little bit. He's like, "Well,
Yeah.
why?"
It make no sense.
And then so back at the train station, bus station, some sort of travel station. Yeah. Jamie is there with the baby trying to call for help. So she calls the radio
station,
program
which makes no sense again because there's a thing called 911
instead of this thing and he's making fun of her.
Fun of everybody that is calling about Mike Myers.
And she's like, "Dr. Loomis, are you out there? Doctor, like,
why not try and call actual Dr. Loomis? I mean,
or the police, or almost just about anybody.
Just about anything else besides a radio station.
I mean, yes, he just so happened to be listening to that, but there's no fucking guarantee that he would.
No.
Yeah, but she does it anyway. Tommy hears it too, because that's all he does with his spare time. And oh my gosh, dude, this movie. So Michael shows up to somehow to this.
He gets around very oddly, just
very fast.
Everywhere. Teleport, bro. It's real.
Like legit, had to have teleported because it'd been different if they just showed him sitting in the bed of the truck like he jumped in, but they didn't.
He didn't drive over there.
He didn't drive over there.
I mean, he could have, I guess.
He didn't though. There's no car outside.
Right. And then throughout the entire movie, he just keeps popping up in places. Like all the other movies, it shows him kind of stalking about and kind of wandering about. But this one, it's just he literally just randomly every time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I hate it.
Makes no sense. Because like sometimes you can suspend the disbelief if they're back there a little bit, but they're slightly up more. You're like, oh, okay, whatever. Yeah. But when someone is like miles away from somebody and ends up right there, that makes no sense. None. My disbelief will not suspend that far.
I mean, I know this is a movie,
but still,
and I know that there's a lot of other movies that are a little bit wilder, but come on.
But this is supposed to be semi-realistic. Semi. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just a shred. Keep a shred of your fucking dignity, please. No, these people know, but none of them really ever worked much again.
No.
So there's a reason for that. Oh gosh. So he chases her to the station, and she runs out to her truck, and we cut back to kind of talking again. And to come back, Loomis says it's not wise to play Halloween pranks on me, which is almost like I'm gonna shoot you if you ask me this question again. Loomis is a badass. He also mentioned he had a stroke, which I'm assuming maybe at the end of the events of Halloween 5.
Probably why
he's got the cane and the limp. But like, is that from Halloween 5 because of the shock of that another police force was brutally murdered and Jamie's gone?
Like it and the stress of all that, and then still not having Mike Myers' body. So of course Loomis is gonna have beliefs that he's alive. And he's not gonna go for the fact that, oh, he's just died in an explosion. I already blew him up once and he didn't die, so I'm gonna go ahead and say he didn't die in another explosion.
We get the thing again where everybody's like, oh yeah, Jamie and Michael died in the explosion at the police station. With no bodies. And this shit's happened like twice now. Why the fuck do people still just assume? Loomis is the only one that's like, really, guys? Come on.
Like at that point, dude, Loomis, no one, just go away. Just go like you did.
He should have stayed in this house.
Don't just stay at home. Don't even get this.
Quit going to Haddonfield. Just stop going to Haddonfield. It's a bad idea. It's overall just a bad idea. True. One. Yeah, I don't think so. No.
That's a first.
There's really no cop presence.
Outside of the hospital scene real quick.
Yeah, but.
Oh, and the barn.
Oh, yeah, the barn. That's it. That's literally it. It is weird. The mask in this film looks slightly different. I mean, it's more similar to the first couple. It's like less loose fitting, but still a little loose fitting. But it's got really shaggy hair. It's got like real like crazy hair.
I didn't like it at all. I don't like anything about this movie.
But George P. Wilbur is playing Michael again from Halloween 4, so we still get scrawny George Wilbur with hockey pads. Like, and you can
And you
tell
can
he's got
tell
this one. You
this.
can really tell he's got padding on there.
He looked
Fat,
yeah.
like Michael Myers got a little bit of a beer gut.
Fake. Like it was just like
Disproportionate.
His legs were still skinny. I don't think
But he was
wearing
all
any
like-
pads down on the leg area.
It's
you know,
kinda
on the
like-
chest.
If someone plays like Gaston in a Disney performance and they put the muscle shirt
Yeah,
on
he
them,
just
that's
he skipped leg day.
kind of what that looks like.
Michael skipped leg day.
But in the last movie, he met that leg day. He was a big motherfucker in Halloween 5.
Brick house.
Which I wonder, did they ask Don Shanks to come back and do this, or were they like, well, let's get George P. Wilbur back?
Well,
Because they also had another guy playing him. It was like A. Robert. I can't think of the guy's name. He did the stunts.
I don't know.
George Wilbur was kind of older around this time. Like now he's old. Like saw him recently. He looks old. But you know, he's Michael Myers from Halloween 4, which is one of the better ones. So, you know, got to pay those respects. Jamie gets back in the truck and can't fucking drive worth shit, but also kind of go back to Halloween 1 here for a second. Who taught her how to drive? She's supposed to have been kidnapped when she at that police station in Halloween 5. Okay, and she's 15 now. Who the fuck taught her how to drive?
I'm just gonna go with put your foot on the gas pedal and put your foot on the brake pedal and you just hope to go in the right direction at this point.
And so she's driving and she sees headlights behind her, freaks the fuck out,
Yeah.
and just drives into a pumpkin patch.
She gets rammed a couple times. That kind of helps.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but she it's all bad driving is what
Yeah.
this could be calculated down to. I know it's raining and whatever, but like I've never been like headlights. Like that was weird, man.
Oh, you've never been like headlights and freaked out?
Don't bring up earlier shit. Don't you do this to me, asshole. Earlier, DJ didn't warn me we were about to make a sudden turn, and I panicked slightly.
Slightly is an understatement.
All I said was like, "Wow, I'm okay. We're okay."
No, the
That's all I did. That's all I did.
way you did it.
That wasn't in the movie.
Okay. Well,
So,
okay.
I won't
I was
defend
just saying
myself.
The fact that you have freaked out because of headlights before.
Not to that extent. I've never
You weren't
driven.
driving. If you were driving, you might have.
Well, I wouldn't have made the sudden turn. It scared me. But no, she drives right through the pumpkin patch, and then she runs into a barn,
Which Mike Miles is in.
which and then this cut, he just shows up, randomly stabbed, like we don't see her go blah, and fall
Yeah,
over.
fall over.
Which in the first cut that I watched, he kills her here. He puts her into a corn thresher and it like shreds up her body. But in this one, she's still alive. And we don't even see her really get
Yeah,
stabbed.
it's gonna change the entire movie because like at that one they can't find the body.
It really doesn't though, because she's just kind of sitting here in the hospital. Like, there's no point. I understand why they
No,
switched it to
but
her
I mean,
dying.
like, with the corn shredded her body, then how do they know that was Jamie? Or was she
No, it
not
wasn't
that
like-
mutilated?
It was through her chest and it spun around a little bit, but like her body is intact.
That makes more sense.
It was bloody though.
Right. Okay. I got you.
That cut looks a lot better. We're down to 0 people watching now, which it'll happen. People don't want to stay here for an hour. We went almost up to 5, which is good. I just wanted to point that out. I know this will make it onto the thing. People are like, why is he still talking about that? Well, I'm watching our little viewer counter. I put it on Facebook like right before we went on. So we get this random scene of her just randomly getting stabbed, very nonchalant. We cut to the Myers house where we meet the Strodes, who are the extended family of Lori's adopted parents, who are living in the Myers house, which has been remodeled a little bit. But this house looks a lot more like the Myers house than the
Yeah.
one from Halloween 5. Like they tried a little harder in this one. Like most of their budget must have went to just the Myers.
Then it's like half the people that they don't like. So they were related to the Strodes,
Yes.
And they know everything. Should theoretically know everything about.
And they don't know where the Myers house is.
But everybody knew where the Myers house was. Hell,
Especially after what happened to Lori.
the dad works at the same real estate agency, and they were trying to sell the house.
No,
in
the
first
dad
movie.
knows. Because that's why the mom was freaking out on him later. He knows. But like, this should have been running rampant around town, especially what happened to Lori and everything.
Right.
And then what happened to the little girl like 10 years later? Why is everyone
Everybody
oblivious
should
to where the
know, like,
Myers house is?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm like, that should be like a freaking teardown or some type of memorial or something.
Shit keeps happening at this
Historical event
house
site.
or around this house. You know what I'm saying? Quit doing that. Just
Like,
stay
the
away from
audience,
that
like, I
house.
feel like you gotta know that was a stupid plot hole. Like how?
Yeah, they're like, nobody knows where this
Nobody
house
knows where Myers
is.
house is, but everybody knows who Michael Myers is.
People have memory loss every few years.
People know. Everybody knows who he is. There's a freaking radio show. A guy from Chicago knows who he is,
That's true.
but nobody knows where
Newspapers.
the house was.
All out the ass.
Makes no sense.
But they don't know where he lived,
No sense.
even though it's in their town. Yeah, that's a pretty stupid point. But the Myers house does look more close to the Myers house. That is one positive thing we can say about this film. Loomis is like, I sense him. I know evil is
He's
coming.
alive.
And he's like, I can't do this again. I need help. I can't do this alone. Which he never really did alone.
So where has this Wynn guy been? The other.
He was actually one of the doctors in Halloween 1 and Halloween 4. Like, he's just in the background. They just took a background character and made a story around him. Like, he's one of like the very low key doctors. Like in the first one, where he's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Haddonfield."
So like, when the first one when he escapes.
Yeah. And when Loomis is leaving the hospital, and that one doctor's like, "Where are you going?" And he's like, "Haddonfield." He's like, "You don't even know if he's there." Like, he's there.
Okay.
That guy. That's Wynn.
Okay.
But like, you have to do some digging just to put those two together.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you're never gonna guess this is who that guy is.
Nah, I wouldn't.
That was almost 20 years ago. Like, I don't even think it's the same actor.
No, it's not.
So how are we supposed to connect those dots? But that's who it is. Let's see here. Oh yeah. And then it's like they go to the office like, "Hey, give Loomis all the paperwork on Michael Myers." And the nurse is like, "Oh, didn't you hear? Jamie Lloyd's admitted into the hospital. What's happening again?" And Loomis is like, "Damn it."
I just got back in town. Can I not have 5 minutes in a town of peace?
Like, I just got here. And then we meet the new Strodes. We met Kara and Danny already.
Yeah.
Then we meet her brother, Tim. I call him Tim. Not in a different way, because he is a tool. That's why I call him Tim the Tool Man. He is not Tim Allen level. I just needed to point that out right now. And we meet the parents, Deborah, who I like.
I don't.
And then the dad, John,
Dick.
who is a dick. I wrote that right here. Dad is a dick and Tim is a tool.
I don't like the mom there.
I kind of liked how the whole Tim and Danny thing, where he's
That
like,
was kind of cool.
where he's like, "You ready to try it?" Something.
What does he say?
He says like, "Lay it on me."
Lay it on me. Lay it on me, G.
Lay it on me,
Lay
G.
it on me, G.
And he gives him this, like, I'm assuming it's some sort of like protein shake.
Who knows?
He's putting fruit and shit in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it had anything bad in it, unless he put vodka in it or something.
No.
You-
Just fruit.
you never know.
Smoothie
I-
protein shake.
But it looked thick. And he goes, "Ugh." And then he's like, maybe next time. Like, it's cute. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find something good.
No,
It's just like in the first Halloween, we were trying to find something bad to talk about. I'm trying to find something good to talk about for this film. And that's one little detail. Because, the guy who plays, like, Tim, he's not a bad actor for that character. It's just the writing gave him basically nothing.
This whole movie, like everything about it, the plot, that the direction of the acting. I really don't think it was the actor's fault. Like, I mean, I'm sure some of these actors weren't great. It was just the whole storyline was just very abrupt and short and just wrong for a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's Halloween 3 had better Halloween like analogs.
True. More tie-ins to the
Yeah.
holiday itself.
Well, and it just like
Felt more Halloween-y.
yeah, in the movie sense, not the season sense.
That's true. Yeah. It even
Like, I didn't
like there was one guy who was reviewing this film that said this is the most Halloween, like it's true to the original that it's the whole series has felt to him.
this movie.
Yes, this one.
Is he an idiot?
I mean, some people have very different opinions. This is his second favorite of all time. He says he watches it like 3 times a year. I don't even remember the guy's name, but he's a pretty well followed YouTuber.
Well, if he's well followed, we're not going to get married many follows because the movie was trash.
Hey, opinions are opinions, but this to me and to you and probably to a lot of people we interact with, this is a bad film.
I don't understand how it can be.
So to continue, we get family drama between the dad, who's just a total dick. He's like, kids today have no respect, blah blah
It's
blah.
They keep bringing up the fact that Kara or whatever
She's
had done something.
she has a kid
Yeah,
who's.
but is that it?
6. I think so, because he said that bastard kid.
Yeah,
And she's like, the only bastard I see here is you. And he gets up and smacks her. And then Danny hears a kill them for me, for him.
and then he sees Michael in the back,
And then he just puts a knife up to the dad. which-
everybody just kind of like not like stares.
And there is no Man in Black whispering to him. It's just the guy looks down and he's got the knife, which is it's better because it
I
seems
like
like he's
that better.
protecting his mom.
Yeah.
And not this fucking plot. So point number 2 for the theatrical cut. It gets the Jamie death point, and it gets this scene point over the producer's cut. I'm just pointing it out there. If you're deciding which one to watch.
Reactions of the rest of everybody, like the mom just kind of came over and grabbed the knife. Like, it's kind of like,
Well, I think everyone's like, whoa, like
Yeah.
let's defuse this situation.
I feel like voices would have used more.
Maybe like
Like, what are you doing?
not just
dude?
pure silence.
Not just like, at least somebody would have been like, all right, Danny, put the knife down.
She did. She said that. She said, give me the knife.
See, I can't even focus on that.
But yeah, the dad does. And then she's like, the mom's like, you need to be better to her. That's your daughter. And he's like, not anymore. She's not. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Being the guy who had a kid out of wedlock, that gotta walk out. There ain't no need for that.
Like, Jesus, man, that's fucked up. What he
Yeah.
was saying right there. Yeah. And also her nose is bleeding from getting hit. And so we go outside, Kara, Tim, and Tim's girlfriend, whose name I don't know. They all go to college together.
Are they all in college?
Yes, they're all in college. And Kara's nose is bleeding, and the girlfriend's like, what happened? She's like, just another day at the Strode residence.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, girl.
Must be getting beat up a lot.
Like there's a Lifetime movie plot out of this. If we take out all the Michael Myers shit, we have a Lifetime movie on our hands. It probably could have been a lot better than this movie.
Oh. Just the girl getting beat up by her dad and the dad
Having to deal with the issues of raising a kid on her own and going to college and
getting
balancing.
kidnapped and turned into Mike Myers.
Damn it! Nope. Now you're throwing the Michael Myers stuff into it. People are gonna be like, I didn't tune into this podcast to hear about a Lifetime movie plot.
It'll be all right.
I'm just trying to make it better for you guys out there. Like, you probably want to watch that movie over this movie. So, and Tim's girlfriend, she's the one on the radio that was like, this town needs to have Halloween back. And that stuff happened. No, like the Jamie stuff
Oh.
happened like
6 years ago.
Like, she's like, it happened almost 10 years ago. She's like, that's, we need to move on and celebrate Halloween. I'm like, or you can just probably skip it because this town Because a lot of shit happen on Halloween, like every few years. So just,
Don't even celebrate Halloween at all.
like, yeah, have a really nice Christmas.
Do something other than this.
Yes, because every time you have Halloween in this town, a bunch of people die.
Literally. Well, not every time, but pretty much. Well, enough. So let's put it this way. Since the Halloween, I kind of want to do research on this, but since the movies came out from 78 to
2018.
28, well, let's start by 95 here.
Okay.
So what is that? Do math for me, bub.
78 to 95.
17
Well,
years.
98, it's 20. So yeah, just subtract.
17 years.
17 years. So we got 17 years.
Oh yeah, there's been definitely enough people to probably have 2 deaths per Halloween in those 17 years.
If you divvied it up.
Yeah.
Considering 2 whole police forces were killed.
Yes, legitimately 2 whole police forces were dead.
So yeah, should probably stop having fucking Halloween.
No. Like at that point, yeah. Like
Then after that, we get cute mom-son stuff between Kara and Danny. Again, the nice Lifetime plot of this film. And again, we get more creepy Tommy in the window. And they're like, oh yeah, that Tommy sure is creepy.
It's like, who's that guy that lives across from you? Apparently the girlfriend lives over there too.
He lives in a boarding house.
Yeah.
Owned by Miss Blankenship. We'll come into that later. Yeah. But right now, she's with the deaf old lady.
Yeah.
For now. The writers started this okay. Also, Tommy goes to the whatever travel station because Jamie said she was there. Or did she even say?
No, she didn't. He was on the listen to the recording or whatever.
Oh, and track
back and overheard the speaker.
Okay. So he goes there, and I think it's at a bus. Did a bus come in from this town last night? And the guy's like, "Yeah, you looking for somebody?" He's like, "Thanks." Like walks away. I'm like, "Man, this is the shady as fuck."
So happened to look down and see some blood.
Which, yes, why is no one seeing the? This is a lot of blood on the floor.
There's people walking around this bus station. There's a trail of blood
going
into the bathroom.
Yes. And the staff that opened in the morning didn't see this. It's all over the sink and shit.
And then there's a baby. So he goes down.
There's a crying baby.
There's a crying baby in the bathroom that nobody happened to find.
Like, it's like afternoon at this point.
Yeah.
So this thing's been open for hours, and no one noticed the trail of blood and a crying baby. Jesus fuck, where'd they work? Like, damn, dude, it's weird. Like, that is a big ass plot hole. It's a big ass trail of blood. Like, Jesus, fuck this movie. And Tommy here, he's just super obsessed with Michael. His room is covered in Michael Myers shit.
Why are you so obsessed with the guy that tried to almost killed you?
No, more so tried to kill his babysitter. Like, the most interaction Tommy had with Michael Myers was seeing him carrying his body. And then he was up the stairs, turned around, there's Michael Myers, and him and Lindsay ran away. That's literally the only interaction he's had. It's not like Michael was chasing after him ever. So why has his whole life been affected by this? And why was he not part of the events of Halloween 4 and 5 then if he's been watching so closely?
That's a good question.
You think about that when
he was in Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Now, why was he
literally right across the street from the Myers house when Jamie brought him into the Myers mansion and did that whole shit with Loomis? He was apparently right across the street.
How old would he have been then?
18.
He may not have been.
Still, he's living in this town and he hasn't showed up ever since. Plot holes, man. Plot holes. Everywhere. It's like our roads. There's just holes everywhere and they never get filled. It's so bad.
This whole movie is one big plot hole for the entire universe of Halloween.
So then Tommy just takes the baby. No context of whose baby it is.
He has an idea.
But he doesn't know for sure.
Yeah, that's why he went to the hospital.
Like-
Maybe.
That's a long shot. But he takes this baby, and also this baby is probably sitting in shit by this point.
Definitely.
Hasn't
And probably
eaten.
puke.
And like, God, this poor baby. It's been alive for a day.
I don't know how it survived
Really, how did it?
because they tried feeding it. Come in a little while.
And I'm gonna get to that too, because that's not formula. It's not like Tommy Doyle was just waiting for a baby to show up in his life. It's probably milk, like whole milk, which is not good. Like, I don't know much about babies, but I know that's not good. Like, he couldn't have ran to the store and got some
Better than
fucking
nothing.
whatever.
Maybe he did.
They never show it, so I'm not gonna.
Maybe.
He did have a bottle though, and like, where did he get that
Where did
baby
he get a
bottle?
baby bottle?
That's
So he
true.
had to go to the
Maybe he did. Maybe the movie could stretch that one. Touche. But maybe the movie can stretch that one. I'll give them the benefit of a doubt on that. Then we get pissed off Loomis because they're like, when they're taking Jamie to the hospital, and the sheriff's like, you need to quit chasing ghosts. He's like, ghosts? Is this the ghost of a girl we've taken out of here today? Is this the ghost of a man that keeps murdering all these mamas? I was like, I feel the same way, Loomis. Like, why is everyone just not giving a fuck?
That's the best acting in that whole movie.
Yeah.
There. That scene.
Because he's like, let me tell you about ghosts, sheriff.
This guy's been shot how many times? He's been blown up. He's been drowning down a river. Been in a coma for a year. Apparently, probably not eating very much in that time frame.
Nope.
Dude doesn't die. He's not a ghost for sure. He's the demon.
He's pure evil. But again, why is everyone just like, nah, no, Myers is dead. Nah, no, bro.
Haddonfield's in a state of denial.
Constant.
Truly.
Literally dozens of people are murdered every few years. And they're like,
And they
ah,
they just keep
that had to be the
ignoring it.
last one.
That's it. No more.
We haven't found a body, but bodies. When are you ever really gonna find them? I fucking hate the like Haddonfield at this point just deserves to die. Like, light the whole town on fire. These people
Pretty
don't
much
know.
everybody in that town.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah,
'Cause everybody's either obsessed with Michael or doesn't even care about him. Nobody's in
or just
favor of him.
assumes that he's gone. I am switching. Oh yeah, then we see these drawings that Tim has drawn, which is reminiscent of like what Jamie was drawing, except he drew a murdered his whole
Yes,
family,
yeah, the whole family,
except for him.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
Tim
just an
goes,
attack there.
"Oh," he does a
think it's kinda
butthead
cool.
impression. He goes, "I thought it was pretty cool," and I'm like, "Yo, dude,
In
how are
what
we just
realm
gonna?
Is that cool?
Why are we breezing past this? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dude.
Like,
my nephew drew a picture of him killing me. That's pretty
like,
cool.
oh
Wait, what?
me."
Like, you're in that picture, bro, and you think it's cool that he killed you. Oh, okay, you're stupid. There's that tool syndrome.
Yeah, he is kind of stupid though. But we do get some nice little Michael stalking moments that is in this cut. That is not in the theatrical cut. It's only in the producer's cut. So point producer's cut. We're 2-1 here for the producer's cut.
Producer's cut.
I'm just saying the producer's cut has one because that's kind of cool. Doing it's one reason we like Halloween 1 so much. Nowhere near as cool as it, but Michael is more present in the background of these scenes. That's quite enjoyable to watch.
But I feel like he wasn't. I mean,
I saw him quite a bit.
There was times where
You were doing laundry during one of the times we saw it.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't. I was like, I didn't.
and I'm sure you were on your phone for part of this movie too. So
Because it was not interesting.
I intently watched this one to try to pick out
Couldn't get
differences
into
between the two cuts. I was not into it, but I do this for the podcast, for the people.
I tried. Sorry.
He's learning slowly but surely.
No, I just didn't want to suck.
Then we go to the hospital where Tommy's barged in. He's like, I need a doctor. He's like, there's been an accident. Like, well, what happened? He's like, do you not understand me? I need a doctor. I'm like, okay, well, quit shrieking at this lady. She doesn't know.
Yeah, all right.
Like,
Yeah.
there's protocol to get into a hospital.
And then he goes off again.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't like try.
Like,
goes
he's
off.
never interacted with a human being before.
He has terrible people skills.
But like, as soon as Halloween 1 was over, he just went and locked himself in a
Solitude.
room and then just now has come out of
Lived
it.
in a basement or in that attic across the way from the Myers house.
Like, it's so weird that he just can't talk to people without freaking the fuck out or being really creepy. And also, there's just a lot of coincidence. Like, Loomis is also at this hospital, and Jamie is also at this hospital that he just happens to show up at the same time. Like, they're intersecting each other.
Yeah.
Like,
And
that's a
then he
lot of things having to
happens
happen at
walk
the same
off and
time.
happens to cross paths.
Just like he happened to find the baby. Like 1 second,
That was a little bit of
like
detective
10,
work.
15 seconds later, and this whole movie doesn't happen.
Or somebody else would have found that, called the cops after a blood trail.
Nah, they had plenty of time to find that fucking blood trail. No one gave a shit. They're like, ugh, blood, gross, and just stepped over it and continued with
Somebody
their
get a mop. Nobody got a mop.
Huh. Put an out of service sign in that bathroom. That's gross. I'm not cleaning that. They might have had hepatitis. Like, no one gives a shit about that train station. I'm just saying. And then Tommy's like, oh, hey, yeah, I understood about the whole Jamie thing. This is her baby. He probably wants to murder this baby too. I'll see you at the campus rally. And walks away. I'm like, how the fuck is Loomis supposed to know where this campus rally is?
We'll figure it out.
He's just like, yeah, I'll see you at the campus rally. And Loomis is like, wait, Tommy, probably being like, where is this rally?
What rally? Mike Myers rally? What?
Where? Tell me. Why are you protecting him? Oh, God. I feel so bad for both Loomis and Donald Pleasance for this movie.
Ruined Donald Pleasance.
But here we go back to the Strode house where the mom is like cleaning up things that don't really need to be cleaned. Like, there's just boxes. I mean, they just moved there. So she goes outside and she gets a box and she sees the hatchet type thing that he was chopping the Michael Myers poster with earlier. Like, why is she bringing that inside?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would you just leave that outside? Like, I understand later why it had to go inside. Yeah, could have left that out there. Yeah, that could have been out there. Like, they pretty much just brought it in for the scene that comes up here in a little bit. They're like, well, it'd be cool if we did this. But why would she bring a hatchet inside? Ah, fuck it. No one's going to notice. Huh, we especially, because we had to watch the whole film. Most people probably would have tuned out by now.
I did tune out.
So then Loomis shows up in this house, which he knows where the house is, but like he just barged in. He didn't knock.
Yeah, it doesn't knock or anything.
He just sneaks up behind her.
Which, come on, like Loomis is psycho and all at this point, but that's a little,
it's a little weird. Just barging, like, didn't make any noise.
Especially when you're going to try and convince a lady that a murderer is coming to her house. You're going to come in without knocking.
And just sneak up, like, grab her shoulder.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a good way to do this.
He's like, I can save your family. Which, spoiler alert, he does a shitty job of that. So he basically tells her, hey, this is the story of Michael Myers. And fun fact, this is his house that you're living in. And he's probably going to kill you now.
There's been about 50 people dead in this house.
So have fun. And he leaves her there.
Seriously. Says, I'll be back. Terminator style. And then
if the Terminator left, everyone he was guarding got murdered, and then he's like, "Oh shit, oops!" Like,
my bad.
I kind of want to see that cut of Terminator 2. So she calls the dad, and she's like, "I can't believe you moved us into the Michael Myers house. I'm leaving, and I want you to come with us." He's like, "You're crazy. You're loony. You've really lost it, Deborah." I'm like, dude, you know that it's the Myers house. Why are you such a dick right now?
Not really lost it, especially considering the fact that, I couldn't live in a place where...
And then he hangs up on her and then pulls the liquor out of his desk drawer and starts getting hammered at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, could have not even that.
Is it scotch?
I don't know what it was.
It's bourbon. Maybe it's bourbon. Because there's a nice fancy little bottle in there. Then we cut to Tommy, who brought the baby to his boarding house across the street, and he wipes the bloody thorn symbol off its stomach and names it Steven. He's like, that suits you. I'm like,
you like that?
I was like, it's just a baby. You really could have named it anything. It's not like you're like, well, this looks like a Steven. It's a fucking baby. They all kind of look similar, unless it's your baby. then you're like, that's my baby. That looks to me, dude. All babies kind of look similar to me. Like new babies, like newborn babies, they all kind of look similar.
They can, I guess.
Well, okay, you've had 2 babies. I'm sure you're like, yeah, those are my babies. But like everybody else's kids, you're like, well, they kind of look similar.
Unless they're Asian.
Fuck me then, I guess. I'm sorry. Fuck me. No, fuck me. Fuck me sideways. It's cool. It's fine. I'm wrong here. Ding. And he gets real creepy with the baby. Like, he just looks real odd. Like, he's just staring.
He was creepy in this whole movie.
He looked at this baby like he was either going to raise it as his own or eat it.
Probably raise it then eat it.
Like,
Maybe once
like
more meat.
wait, yeah, gotta wait till this
Gotta
meat
wait
gets
till
nice
it's
and
about
ripe.
10 years old so I can feed myself off for a few days.
Put some in the freezer. Got some Steven left over.
Cross the line.
We did.
That's
Oh,
fine.
shit. We're going to hell. There it is. There it is. We're good. We're going to hell. Damn it. So are the people that made this movie, though. So the mom, she's like, packs her bag, big ass suitcase, starts making her way down the stairs, and she looks where all that shit she brought in, and the axe is missing.
So she freaked out. I think she freaked out way too much, first of all, which I mean, in the sense,
Hey.
yeah.
She knew there was a hatchet thing there.
Dude, I put,
And then she come
I
down and
know,
it's gone.
I know things are there at a certain time, and then it's not there, and then it ends up it's over here somewhere. Just because I probably
Okay, but nobody else was home.
I forget that I did it.
Okay,
I've been there. I've just been like, oh. Where
then
have I
stupid
been?
DJ gets murdered very fast. But this lady was like, she did a smart thing for a second. She runs out of the house, but as she's running out of the house, she trips and falls.
Over what?
Ground, flat ground. She got tripped over a movie plot. All those plot holes tripped her up. She got her foot stuck in a plot hole. She fell over. And her glasses fall off. This is a Scooby-Doo moment.
Velma was jinkies.
Except if Velma put her glasses on, moved a bed sheet, and was hit with an axe by a murderer. This is realistic Scooby-Doo for you.
This is what would happen.
The killer, Michael, didn't hand her her and then go blah, 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 and chase her away. No, he waited for her to get her glasses. He waited for her to get her glasses and then murdered her. And we didn't really get to see anything.
Kind of Mike, though. That was very kind of Mike.
Let her put the glasses on.
See her death coming. See the axe swinging, chop her head off.
He's waiting on the other side of that sheet, like, come on, bitch, get them glasses on. Let's get going. I got a time schedule. I'm on right now. I only get to do this like every almost 10 years. You better let me. Let's get to it. Then Danny meets Tommy, and again, super creepy, just non-responsiveness.
He was in their house, right? Tommy was.
Yeah, we'll cut to that in a second. Kara comes home. The door is locked. Which, who locked that fucking door? That's weird.
Probably.
You don't go to an empty house with an 8-year-old and lock the front door. That's weird. And then she goes into her son's room, and there's this random guy who's been watching her from across the street sitting in there. And she's like, "What are you doing in my
Why
house?"
are you here?
He's like, "I'm Tommy Doyle. I live across the street." And he's like, "Mom, he knows
He
all about
literally
that."
sounds like that too.
Yeah.
The entire movie.
I live across the street. My name is Tommy Doyle. He sounds like a serial killer that he's trying to blend. He's like Norman Bates
Yeah.
at the end of Psycho. It's kind of what he sounds like.
Perfect description. Legitimately.
Maybe Paul Rudd thought he was going to be playing Norman Bates.
Maybe he thought he was going to be a killer at the end of this movie. Maybe they told him that, like, you need to act like a serial killer because you're going to be a killer.
He's like, okay, well,
I got you,
I'm trying to be a serial killer. And then like, oh yeah, we wrote that shit out. Oops, fuck. Well, this is going to be weird.
We can't refilm the rest of the movie. Sorry.
And she believes him super fast. He's like, you need to come with me. And she's like, okay. And she just goes, like, you could have been murdered across the street.
You caught the dude staring at you once while you were getting naked in your room, and then while you're walking down the hall with your buddies, and now you find him in your bedroom with your 8-year-old son alone. And then he says, "Hey, let's go to my house," and you go.
And you're like, okay, sure. Like,
No.
this,
What realm of reality is that okay?
this girl did not have a stranger's dangers course in her school.
I did. Lord have mercy. She's
there were so many red flags going off, and she's
Like,
just like, it's
It's
okay,
all
it's all okay. Like, she's like, where's my mom? He's like, there was no one home when I was here, and she's like, okay, let's go to your house.
We're good. You're here with my son. No problem.
And then we get a shot of Danny playing with the Power Ranger toy. So it gets brought back up. Power Ranger toy. Made me happy. I was a happy person watching that. Then Danny looks out the window and there's Michael chilling in his front yard.
Isn't he like trying to get the mom's attention too? Or is that later?
Yeah.
That's later.
He's like, Mommy. And she's like, well, hold
Not
on.
now.
And then never brings it up.
And then he's just like, all right, never mind, forget it.
He's like, yeah,
I saw a crazy dude with the mask outside. Don't worry about it.
it's all right. I won't bring this shit up again.
Next time I see a serial killer in my yard, make sure I won't mention it.
And he doesn't.
He does not. He
So,
says,
listen to your parents or your
"Your
parents.
kids."
Parents listen to your kids. If they're like, hey, and they're by a window.
As a parent, I'm not.
Okay, if your kid's older, not like Jack's age. If he's standing by a window.
Standing by a window goes, hey, Daddy, what's that? I'd be like, I don't know, but
Well, good job, DJ. You're gonna get your family murdered.
it happens.
You're like, if it means I don't have to listen to a child talk, I'm in.
No, I did not say that. I'm a good father.
He is a good father. I'm not downing DJ at all. To say it sounded a little bad. So then we get a shot of I almost said Paul, Tommy feeding the baby.
Attempting to.
And he's like,
Very
I can't.
poorly.
He's like, I can't get this baby to eat. And then she's like, here, let me try. And then immediately gets the baby to
That
eat.
motherly touch, though.
That's true.
I get that.
I mean, who as even as a baby, who would you trust? Kind woman or creepy Paul Rush?
Creepy Tommy Doyle.
Like,
I would definitely choose creepy Tommy Doyle, though.
why?
Because it's creepy Tommy Doyle.
No, that would scare me. If I was a child, that scares the shit out of me.
I'm gonna take the good-looking Paul
And
Rudd.
this is when Jamie's in the hospital bed. We get a flashback of Michael raping her.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
I wouldn't use the word to describe it as fun.
And then this makes Michael this kid's grand uncle dad.
Great.
Grand uncle dad.
Great uncle dad.
Grand.
Grand uncle.
Nope, we're grand. We're putting the
Great.
grand
It's
in
not
front of this.
grandpa. It's great uncle.
It's creepy.
You're fucking retarded.
It's all creepy. It's all bad.
Uncle Grandpa.
I'm oh. But it really, dude, like that's fucked up.
Like I knew it was in this movie, but I was like, all right.
You're like, they're not gonna like really dwell on it, are they?
They
They
Pretty
did.
good.
Which this whole weird flower rape scene is not in the theatrical cut. And the theatrical
really
and the
should watch the
theatrical
actual
the
cut.
theatrical cut, they don't even really mention it. They just say she has a baby and he wants to kill it.
Which
But again, so their point is that they want Michael to finish killing his family so the curse can be lifted onto Danny. But at the same time, why the fuck would you make Michael reproduce, especially with his
continue that.
family, just to kill the baby when they could just have him kill? They have Jamie tied up. They
all
can
I
just
had to
have
do
him
was
kill
kill
her
the baby.
there and it's done. Why the fuck are we prolonging this?
Idiots, dude. I
Very
swear.
much so.
So stupid.
Like, oh, it's frustrating as a writer, as a filmmaker. This whole time, my head hurts. And I'm 21. These people are in their mid 20s, early 30s. And this was okay. This was passable. Me neither.
I'm not
Dimensions
even a movie
filmed.
creator.
Dimensions Films saw this finished product and said, "Yeah, this is ready for distribution." What?
I think it, I think they knew stuff. There's no way.
They're just like, pump it out,
All right, send it out.
pump it out.
People will watch it, which dude, sadly enough, it had the biggest opening of all Halloween series up until this one that came out this year.
Thank God this one this year took that title because, fuck, this is a bad
Which
movie.
that's what is exactly what they did. They're like, all right, push it out. People will go see it because it's been 6 years. People will go. So just
And it
push
still
out.
has a fan base because Halloween 5, while had disappointments, had some redeemable qualities.
All right, yes.
Halloween 5 has some
It
redeemable
did.
qualities.
5 was not bad.
especially where we're at right now. 5 seems like a cakewalk. It's just godly. So continuing on, because we're at an hour right now. We're gonna try to roll through the rest of this so we don't ever have to talk about this movie again. Then Man in Black's like, your job is done, Jamie, and just shoots her in the head in the hospital. Where the fuck did he come from? Do it.
He's the doctor. He works there.
I know, but like he just like we see her in there and no one's in there, and then we cut back to her and he's the standing there.
So he probably was like, all right, I got this, guys. Go ahead. Clear security.
See, if they'd have had a scene of that, that'd have been fine. But no, they probably like, your job is done. Because they wanted to be a shock with a silencer.
They wanted the shock effect.
I was relieved. Like, finally, she's out of this movie. Because all she was doing was laying there anyway, giving us weird black and white flashbacks. I was totally fine with this being done. Then Tommy, we get a good... This is when you were telling me, like, this film is so boring. And then just to add to your boredom, Tommy explains what the Thorn cult is for 5 minutes.
I don't understand this movie in the sense, like, I couldn't comprehend anything.
I'll get to that in my closing arguments. My closing arguments will tell exactly how I feel about that being in this movie. But yeah. Then saying, Michael was chosen to kill his family. That's why he went after Lori and Jamie and now baby Steven.
Right.
Who we never get back again. And we never get Tommy back again either. No, like the rest of the H2O Resurrection.
Right.
Like they say, like, fuck those sequels. They never happened.
Because the H2O was like...
H2O was like, nah, 4, 5, 6 did not happen.
Yeah,
H2O was like, yeah, we followed the second one. Because they were like, that whole storyline went way too far.
Went downhill.
Cannot wait to watch H2O now so I can get some good Halloween film in my blood system.
Yeah.
So I can be like, ooh, give me that good Halloween-y feel. And it doesn't suck.
It does not.
Even Resurrection, which is not good, is better than this film.
We'll get there.
Yeah, when I get there, we'll get there. I have to keep reminding myself, like we're still on 6 right now. We already talked about the Why of the Baby and then Kill It. Then Miss Blankenship just explains little Mikey Myers and Sam Hain.
Which I don't understand.
Why is this bitch just now talking?
Why is she even? She's supposed to be this quiet old lady that doesn't do anything,
and now she's telling backstory.
I'm over here waiting for people to die right behind her, and her just go on living and not even know anything. And
yeah, like the funny scenes of her just like oblivious. Maybe Michael's right behind her and just, nothing.
Like I'm just like I was waiting for her to be watching TV, and Mike Myers is like stabbing somebody, and they're screaming, and she's just sitting there watching TV. It doesn't happen.
Nope.
She knows the entire mythological of Mike Myers.
She was apparently babysitting across the street when Michael killed his sister. Like, I don't know how many years ago that would be at this point. It was 15 years in between. No, it was 15 in between. No, when Michael killed Judith. Because 15 years later, he came back to Haddonfield for Lori. So it's like 30, 33, 32
years.
Damn, that's a long time. She's supposedly a teenager at that time, but she looks like she would. Yeah, she looks like she would be like 40 years old. Makes no sense. But whatever. She wasn't babysitting; she was parenting. Like
my grandkids.
And then, like, there's lightning flashing behind her, and you can see Michael standing in the window.
Yeah.
You were doing laundry at that point, but I wrote it down. Then we get this scene where they're having this festival and the radio host is talking to Tim and his girlfriend and basically just fucking with him the whole time. He's like, do you wear crotchless panties and bark like a dog and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. You asked to come here and talk about this shit and you're just going to be a dick? Like he showed up and he went down to his underwear and he's like, what's up, everybody? Ready to party. That's just... It's actually public indecency. That's actually what that is. That's illegal. And if Michael Myers hadn't murdered the police force twice, they would come and do something
But you're
about
having
that.
a Mike Myers party, so they ain't getting anywhere near
No,
that. Like,
nope. Nope.
Anytime a cop touches Mike Myers, they die. I'm gonna stay in my office, locked up.
And none of them go near him in this film. They're like, nope,
We're good.
done. Not even remotely gonna try. Michael Myers does not like authority figures.
Obviously.
And then Tim's girlfriend's like, well, Tim lives in the Myers house. And he's like, I do.
Yeah.
How does his girlfriend know and not tell
Yeah,
him?
exactly. It's like if she would have just like talked to him and told him that, but she just brings that on the radio without even talking to him.
Making him look like an idiot.
Wait, what? Yeah, what a moron. That's what I was like. What a bitch and a moron. There you go. Perfect couple.
Yeah, pretty much. And so he's like, well, you live in the Myers house. Well, stay tuned next. After the break, we're going to be live at the Myers house. And he's like, I'm going to the Myers house.
Meet you there in 5.
And then he's like on the phone yelling about he's going to wear some guy's balls as earrings if he doesn't do this thing right. And he's like, where's my van?
He gets in a van. First of all, dude, you're trying to get in your van.
Which has your radio thing on the side of
You
it.
get in a van and it's not your van.
And we see that van later. And that van's white. And the van he gets into is green and says Smith's Grove Sanitarium on the side of it. Why the fuck you get in a wrong van when you know that's not your
Why is
van?
that van even there?
Well, with Michael's in it. Why is Michael in it? Don't know. Because he was just back at the Myers house.
Yeah, literally.
And he sprinted, teleported up to this thing, and he stabs him to death from the backseat. Why? Just because, like, well, people aren't gonna like this character. Well, let's go kill him.
The
real
other
quick.
thing I
Like Michael sensed the douchebag.
All the other Halloween movies.
Wait.
Myers,
I got it. That guy was in his underwear. Michael's like, I sense
I
public
killed people in
indecency.
underwear.
Hiya! Like,
But like in Myers, Michael's always killed people for a reason. They're like in his path somehow.
in his way or the person he's after.
Yeah.
He literally went out of his way
Got
to
it.
go kill this guy.
It
and then
just
go
makes no
back.
sense.
'Cause
And then
He gets right back because the dad comes home. I think we're getting
yeah, he can.
drunk dad comes home and he's like, oh, you did leave. Where's my dinner? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. She was just pissed at you. You think she's going to cook for you
Wow.
after that? And then the power goes out. And he goes down. He hears a noise from the basement, which why you would go toward that. He's also looking for the power breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, like he hears that noise. He thinks that's weird. Basement's flooding with water. And he goes over to the washer? Yeah. He turns it off, opens up the lid. There's bloody clothes all inside of it, which,
The sheet from earlier, I would assume.
yeah. But the whole do, he should have seen her severed head in there.
Something, yeah. That's what I.
'Cause that's
when
what
they
the
came up
dude-
and I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of cool. Their body's gonna be
Nope.
shoved in there.
We don't see that shit.
Nothing, just a bloody.
Then he turns
bloody
around.
water.
There's Michael, who grabs him, puts him against the wall, stabs him, which causes him to be electrocuted against the power breaker. And
It's just scientific.
it doesn't. But in this cut, it cuts away. But in the theatrical cut, his head explodes.
I would have, at least that would have been some sort of.
And he was such a dick. I felt really good about this death.
See, I would've
Michael
liked
must
that
have
a
been
lot better.
exhausted though, because he had to go all the way to that festival and all the way back, just because two douchebags were in
You're
different
exhausted when you can
locations.
teleport, huh?
Sometimes the douchebags can always come to your house, Michael. You gotta go find them sometimes. God damn it. This fucking I'm just so mad at this movie sometimes. Because before that radio guy got killed, I forgot to say he has his line. He says, kick them in the face and they'll lick you all over. The fuck does that mean? What weird kinky shit was he talking about?
I don't understand.
Anyway, he's dead. Fuck that guy. Then Tim and his girlfriend go back to Tim's house and they start talking. And she starts telling him the story about how Michael stabbed his sister. Then that
Which
gets him
apparently
horny.
Is an aphrodisiac.
Because then they start fucking. Why? I know someone's telling me, like, I'm interested in, like, true crime stories. But in the midst of a true crime story, I'm not like, my dick's hard. We need to get at this. No, I'm like, that's really fucked up. What happened to that guy?
That's pretty rough and sketchy.
Let's
not talk
change
about
the
this
subject. So,
No, I
what's
know.
your name? Like, you know,
Let's watch a happy movie.
So, but no, they start fucking. Which,
Creepy.
creepy, yes, very creepy. Then we cut back. This part really pisses me off. We cut back the festival, and there's this little girl, and in the cut we watched tonight, she's singing it, but in the other cut, she's just saying it. She's like, "It's raining red, mommy. It's raining red. Raining red. It's raining red. It's
And then
warm."
Tommy Doyle's walking by and hears her, and he's just kind of like walking around.
She's covered in blood. Why does this girl not know what blood is?
That's I'm a little concerned.
She's like probably what, 5, 6?
She looked closer to
I
7.
knew what blood was because I bled before at this point in my life. So she's covered in blood, and she is assuming it's red rain.
And she goes,
No fucking shit. It's blood. And then Tommy does the smart thing and looks
kind of
up.
walks around, looks like gets dropped on his hand.
Yeah,
and then he
looks up. And
It's
it's the radio guy wrapped up in lights from the tree.
Looks like Christmas tree lights.
Yeah, it does look like Christmas lights. But then again, you know, sometimes you can reuse shit for town festivals, low budget and whatnot. But how the fuck did he get him up there without being noticed by anybody? This is in the middle of the festival.
Yeah.
How did Michael get this body out of the van, get a ladder, climb up that tree, wrap all those lights around that guy's body, climb back down, and run back to the van without being seen by one person?
Because that was, I mean, it was a well-lit tree pretty much that he was hanging on, especially considering there was lights up in it. So you would think somebody would see these lights swirling around a guy's body up in a tree.
And it's by the festival, full of people. The whole town's apparently there. Ugh. Well, you know, again, people didn't notice blood trail leading to a baby, so I guess they wouldn't notice Michael Myers carrying a body up a
Mike
tree.
Myers hanging up a tree with a body, blood everywhere. Nope.
And 6-year-old girls don't know what blood is.
Not in this realm.
What is this movie?
Trash.
Oh my god. Then we cut to Tim in the shower, and first of all, he's taking the shower really weird because he's like this, standing there stagnant, and then he's like, "Hey babe, can you hand me a towel? I'm freezing." And then Michael Myers hands him a towel because you see the tattoo when he takes the towel
And then
away.
he kind of clenches his fist and pulls it back out. Like he got angry because he handed
He's
him
like,
the towel.
"Why did I do this?" Like he instinctively is like, "Here you go, shit." Like, so Tim takes towel, dries off, steps out of the shower, wipes the mirror a little bit. Then Michael comes up and slits his throat. But I'm like, why hand him the towel? Why didn't you stab him then?
Psycho style.
Yeah. But like, no, he's like, "Here's your towel. Now that you're slightly
Now that you're
less
slightly
wet,
less
let
wet,
me
you
slit your
stab.
throat." Didn't want to slip. Didn't want to slip and
I didn't want
fall.
to cause too much of a mess.
Like, Jesus, this is
I
so
know.
weird.
I just cleaned the shower.
But yeah, it was just like, don't you get blood in my nice shower? Yeah, so that's a thing that happens. Then we get this nice. I like this scene. So Kara's across the street.
Probably one of the best.
Tim's girlfriend, whose name I'll never remember, is sitting in the bedroom. They're on the with each other because Kara called the house, and she's like, "Where's Tim?" She's like, "He's in the shower." Then Michael starts coming in the room, and she's like, "There's someone
Somebody
behind
in the
you."
room with you.
And then before she even turns around, she actually doesn't even get to acknowledge it. Michael just starts stabbing the shit out of her, but we see it from like across Beth. Fuck. Starts getting stabbed to death. And we see it from like across the window, kind of like a rear window, the film when he's watching.
Yeah.
I like that scene, I like that style. That was cool.
It was the best kill in it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like the mom too with the axe. I like the build up. That was a good chase scene. Then Danny, she turned around. Danny's walking across the street to the Myers house.
What is up with this kid?
He's hearing the voice of the man in black. So she runs over there, And she finds the girl's body in the bedroom, and she does the stupid fucking thing and goes to pull the cover back and finds Tim, but like, you know she's dead. You just watched her die. Why the fuck are you checking out the body? You know she's dead.
And it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It does
There's
not.
no
She has armor herself with a fire poker. And
very heavy fire poker, apparently.
Michael's walking and she shuts the door. And he comes after her and she hits him with the fire poker. And he like tucks and rolls down the steps.
The dude has taken punches,
Bullets.
left and right, literally like full force punch and just turned his head.
Hospital exploded.
Hospital exploded.
Car exploded.
Cars about 3 times.
Fell through a mine shaft.
Fell through a mine shaft, went down a river, tumbling around.
And a fire poker knocked him down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
He took a knitting needle to the neck.
That is this movie. That's a good description of this movie. A fire poker took down. No, we're not.
A fire poker tumbled down the steps. Is this the review? Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. So then she goes to the bottom of the steps, but of course Danny's on the other side. So she has to climb over Michael to pick up Danny, and she's climbing back. He grabs her, and she just takes her fire poker and whacks it. Like
bad dog.
No, bad, very bad. And he's like, oh, okay.
Oh,
and then they run out, and then he casually strolls out. And then she's knocking on the door. She's like, let me in. And Tommy, once again, takes a sweet ass fucking time.
Yeah. It was a deja vu of Halloween 1.
Which is that was a decent thing.
That was. I liked it. I was like, all right, that's cool. Got you. I see what you did there.
Then they all hear the Man in Black this time, not just Danny. Because he's in the room, and it's Dr. Wynn. Fuck that. And then they go downstairs, and Miss Blankenship is like, the boy's coming with us. And I'm like, this bitch is in the cult too?
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's in the cult.
And this whole town, or this whole time, this many town members were a part of this cult or something.
Why is this just coming up now?
Yeah.
Why has this not been a thing? Why did they not already get Jamie?
Yeah, why did they not help get Lori?
But-
From the first one.
Yeah, Miss Blankenship's like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for the next one.
Next when they should have helped him then. I'm 77 years old and I've got to do it all over
With my little dagger. Fuck you, Miss Blankenship. I'm so mad. Then Kara just launches herself out of the window.
Literally. Not even like kind of like just like side jumps. Literally
She
dives
dives out the
swimming
window.
pool. And then knocks herself out, which then she gets taken anyways. Like,
What was the
hell?
point?
What did you literally just hurt
Like, we're gonna
yourself?
take you with a broken neck, you will. Like,
So dumb.
so then they go to the one place that Loomis says they must go. Smith Grove Sanitarium. Why? I mean, I don't know. Nice setting, I guess.
Headquarters of the
And
cult.
this is where the both cuts of the movie split, because they just go to a hospital. They don't go to the sanitarium in the theatrical cut, and they go to the sanitarium in the producer's cut. So then we get this weird thorn ritual where Loomis has to become the new caretaker of Michael, and we get this really stupid thing playing out where Kara's like, Michael, don't let them kill your baby, and he doesn't want them to kill his baby because he's weird.
Which again makes no
And then
sense.
Tommy's dressed as a Thorn cult member and does all this weird shit. And it's like, we have launched ourselves into a Scooby-Doo plot at this point.
Literally.
Then it's like the flashing lights and Michael's coming, and Tommy lays down magical, I swear to God, this is in this film. This is in the producer's cut. Magical rocks.
He lays in a circle, so it's all nice and neat.
And Michael stops.
And then he
Well, he cuts his
Cuts
palm
his
and he
hand
wipes
puts
it on it.
And then he says something.
And
Like,
then
as he's choking, he says something, and when he said, I couldn't even tell what he said.
and it stops Michael.
And it stops him. And
He stands there. He can't go any further because the
pretty
magical
much the
rocks.
legitimate end of the movie.
That's
After
the
that,
finale.
like,
Because
after
then everybody
that,
else leaves
Yeah.
in a van. And Loomis goes back in. And he's like, Michael, I can help you stop this. And it's Win in Michael's costume. And then Win grabs him,
Loomis's wrist.
and he's like, it's your responsibility now. And then the Thork appears on his
Appears on
wrist.
Loomis's wrist,
And he's like,
then literally cuts out.
no, no,
Cuts
no. And
out.
then we see Michael dressed as the Man in Black. Like he took Win's outfit. So now he's out in the world as maskless. Now, in the theatrical cut, Michael kills all the doctors. We can see all their gory deaths. And then he chases the rest of them into a hallway, attacks Kara. Tommy comes out with a lead pipe and just beats the fuck out of Michael. And then they all leave and they're like, we're finally going to end this. And then Loomis is like, I have one piece of unfinished business. And he goes back inside and Michael kills him. Like he tells Michael to take him and to end this for him.
See, I wish I would have watched the theatrical cut now.
So yeah, the theatrical cut gets like 5 points as compared to the 2 points for the producer's cut. Okay, so the ending, terrible. All of it, terrible.
Middle, terrible.
Especially
Terrible.
the damn over a pipe beat down. Y'all took rocks? Magic rocks. All right, DJ, final thoughts on Halloween 6.
There aren't any thoughts. The movie was absolutely a disgrace. That's the only thought I have for this. Nothing about it was good. I don't care what he says. He's wrong.
If in a world where this can be a good sequel to Halloween, all that Thorne shit and all that Jamie shit, cut it out. Cut it all out. Make this about, and the Strodes. Make the Strodes, give them a different last name. A family moves into the Myers house from out of town. Have a lot of these events take place, but be more about the family and them not knowing what's going on in this town.
See, that's such a different stretch, though, because, I mean, that's not even remotely what they did. If you wanted to go sequel, yeah, that probably would have been done. Hell.
I'm just saying that's an idea
You
for a
could have
premise.
left it with the Strodes and been, but, I mean, anything would have been better than this.
That's my how I could maybe make it and keep something, but still make it work. Tommy Doyle can still be in it, but make him way less creepy.
I was
like he's a protector.
That was the most disappointing factor because you had Tommy Doyle and you totally just ruined
And this was his
everything that they've
return.
done.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So, closing, worst of the franchise so far.
Hands down. I mean, I've seen all the others, and I think this is the worst period.
And we'll have a ranking video when we're done, so you'll know our exact thoughts.
Yeah.
But this is low. This is a low ball.
Very.
All right, guys. Stay tuned next week when we talk about Halloween H2O. Super excited to do
That's a
that.
good one.
And we are now 60% done with the Halloween franchise.
Almost there.
That is it for tonight for the Film Vomit podcast. Again, my name is Mac Taylor.
And I'm DJ.
Thank you guys for tuning in.